When a woman ignores you, it's not always anger. Sometimes it's exhaustion. She's tired of explaining what you never understood, tired of giving her energy to someone who only noticed her when she stopped speaking. Silence for a woman is not weakness, it's a decision. A decision to protect her peace from the noise of someone who doesn't value it. Understand this: when a woman ignores you, she's not playing a game. She's reclaiming herself. She's pulling back her energy to see what remains without her constant effort. You might call it pride. You might think she's being cold. But in truth, she's teaching you something. The difference between attention and presence. Maybe she was always there, listening, caring, forgiving quietly. You thought her patience was endless. But patience has a breaking point, and silence is its final form. When she stops texting, stops calling, stops arguing, it means she's done fighting to be understood. And that's when most men realize what they've lost. Not a woman, but a world. The moment she chooses distance, something inside her changes forever. She no longer seeks validation. She becomes it. The attention she once gave you, she now gives herself. The love she tried to prove, she now feels within. And when that happens, she becomes unstoppable. Because no one can hurt a woman who has learned to be whole alone. If a woman ignores you, don't chase her for attention. Chase yourself for understanding. Ask yourself why she had to silence herself to find peace. Don't try to get her back with promises. Change through actions. Because once a woman heals from you, there's no version of you she'll ever need again. If she ignores you, it's not the end. It's the mirror. A reflection of where you stopped giving effort. Learn from that silence. Respect it. Grow through it. Because sometimes her silence is the loudest truth you'll ever hear. When a woman ignores you, the world calls it attitude. But truthfully, it's not attitude, it's awareness. Her silence isn't her losing interest, it's her reclaiming power. She has realized that repeating herself no longer changes anything. Every time she expressed what hurt her, she was met with excuses or silence. So now, she chooses silence not to punish you, but to protect herself. Silence becomes her language when words lose their meaning. It's the quiet strength of someone who refuses to beg for the attention she deserves. When she stops explaining, she's not giving up, she's growing up. That silence draws a line in the sand between who she was and who she's becoming. She is no longer asking for love, she's learning to give it to herself. People often mistake distance for disinterest, but in truth, distance is medicine. When a woman pulls away, it's because she's been wounded. She needs space not to forget you, but to find herself again. Constant emotional pain drains her energy, and sometimes stepping back is the only way she can breathe. Ignoring you doesn't mean she stopped caring. It means she's tired of caring alone. She's learning to heal the parts of herself that were bruised by disappointment. In silence, she rediscovers the peace she lost trying to please others. You might see her ignoring your texts, your calls, or your presence, but what you don't see is the battle inside her heart. She's rebuilding from fragments you never noticed breaking. So if she ignores you, don't take it as rejection. Take it as a sign that she's trying to remember what peace feels like without you disturbing it. When she ignores you, she's teaching you, not punishing you. She's showing you what your absence feels like. Maybe you were physically there but emotionally absent. Maybe she got tired of begging for your attention while you were too busy proving she'd never leave. But when she finally withdraws, it's not a game. It's a mirror. She's reflecting your own neglect back at you. The same emptiness you gave her is now the silence you're forced to feel. That's her lesson. Presence matters more than promises. A woman doesn't need someone who checks in occasionally. She needs someone who shows up consistently. When she ignores you, don't rush to call it coldness. It's education. She's teaching you that attention given too late feels like noise. She's teaching you that love without effort feels empty. And if you don't learn from that silence, you'll lose not just her voice, but her soul. There's a moment most men never notice when she stops fighting. At first she argued, cried, explained, hoped you'd listen. But when she stops, when she no longer reacts, questions, or demands, that's when she's truly gone. Silence is not her surrender, it's her final goodbye given without words. She's no longer trying to convince you of her worth, because she finally believes in it herself. By the time you realize her absence feels heavier than her presence ever did, she'll already have made peace with letting go. You'll scroll through old messages and wonder when things changed. But the truth is, things changed when you stopped appreciating what was always there. When a woman ignores you, it's her soul's way of saying, I'm done being invisible. And when she reaches that stage, there's nothing left to fix, only memories left to face. When she stops reaching out, something inside her transforms. The woman who once waited for your message now wakes up without checking her phone. The one who once questioned her worth now builds it daily through self-love. That's the shift. From needing your validation to discovering her own value. Ignoring you isn't about revenge, it's about redirection. She's taking all the energy she gave you and turning it inward, into her goals, her peace, her healing. She's becoming emotionally self-sufficient. When she stops needing your words to feel seen, she becomes unstoppable. Because no one can hurt a woman who no longer needs to be understood to feel whole. So if she ignores you, understand she's rewriting her story. The chapter with you might be closed, but her story doesn't end there. It begins there. And this time she's the hero, not the supporting character. The most painful truth for any man is realizing that her silence was never emptiness, it was full of meaning. Her ignoring you is the universe giving you one last chance to grow. Don't chase her just to end the discomfort. Change yourself to end the cycle. Ask yourself, why did she have to go silent to feel heard? Why did she have to distance herself to find peace? Her silence is the feedback your ego refused to hear. It's a mirror reflecting the parts of you that need healing. So listen, not to her words, but to the absence of them. Because silence speaks louder than tears. If a woman ignores you, it's not always the end. But it will be if you don't learn from it. Her silence can either destroy your pride or rebuild your character. The choice is yours. Because once she finds peace in her distance, she'll never return to the noise she left behind. When a woman ignores you, remember, it's not rejection, it's revelation. It reveals what you failed to notice, what she silently endured, and what she finally chose herself. Don't hate her silence, respect it. Because her silence isn't against you, it's for her. And that silence might be the loudest message of love and self-respect you'll ever receive.